Back to Red Far Garage. I got an exciting episode today. We got a lot going on with the Saab 97X here. So we'll get into it. First, I'll explain to you guys a little bit about what's going on. So you remember the last episode? I kind of fixed up the engine a little bit, did the engine cover, put the cold air intake in here. And this is another one where we've been having trouble with the AC belt jumping off. So I went ahead and got a stretch belt. I'm about to put that on. Those of you that have been watching for a long time know that I've been putting off getting an alignment for a long time. I aligned it myself here in the garage and it drove straight. And you know, so the only problem was really that the steering was a little crooked, so it wasn't real high on the priority list. But you'll be happy to know that I actually went and got an alignment. So the other issue that we found is that the right front tie rod, the outer tie rod, which I'll show you guys in a few minutes, actually is bad, and it's pretty bad. And so it's got a lot of play in it. So I got a new one to go in right here. And so we're gonna go ahead and get that swapped out and get the stretch belt put on, and then we'll move on to phase 2. So y'all stay tuned. I got the outer tie rod changed out, as you can see. And what you want to do when you do something like this, you want to take measurements. And in this case, what I did is I measured from this surface right here. You can see I put a little bit of silver Sharpie right there. But I basically put the tape measure up against that rubber lip, which is stationary. And I measured it to this shield right here. It's not extremely stationary, but it's pretty firm. And you don't want to measure to the rotor because it can move with the wheel off. So, you know, that just gave me a good straight point on the suspension to measure to. And so basically, like I said, I measured from there to the edge of the shield, and I got it right back where it was. And so this should be good to go. But basically, before you could wiggle this around, like it had a ton of play in it. Here's the old one, and I mean, I don't know if you can hear it, but I can feel it rattling. But yeah, it's got a ton of play in it. Hopefully that's coming out on camera. But that much play on this, I mean, the wheel could probably turn back and forth, I'd say about 1/4 of an inch. So that was definitely causing a little issue with the handling. I could tell something was a little off, but I just never noticed it. And usually you hear it knocking. I never heard it knocking or anything. So anyway, glad it was caught. It's changed out now, so that's good to go. I'm here with Mike from Mike's Magic Detail, and he's going to be doing a paint correction. And what was it, a titanium coating?
No,
I mean, there's going to be a lot more to it. A sealant, okay.
Yeah, you didn't want the coating.
Well, we don't have to get into all that.
Because you almost swallowed your tongue when I told you how much it cost.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly, but...
so we're going to put the TRA DPC titanium sealant.
Okay. And then you said you're going to work on the trim.
Yeah, we're going to do some solution finish and Cerakote trim coat on the trim. Put polish on the back glass a little bit just for funsies.
I hear you.
Because again, it's one of those situations where really you and I discussed that it would be cheaper for you to just replace the glass.
Yeah.
And it would be to pay me for the time it would take to get that deep scratch.
Oh yeah,
down.
definitely.
But I'm gonna play with it a little bit and try to make it look a little better, not quite so glaring.
Yeah, I hear you.
And it's handy both just as from the windshield washer. Now I'll do a topical polishing on your other glass. You know, and all that trim coat. We'll see if we can do that vent cowl and a one-step polishing. We'll strip wash it, decon it, clay bar it, and then do the one-step polish.
10-4.
Everything will be paint prepped.
Yeah.
The sealants applied.
Yeah.
Because that stuff and all these other waxes, sealants, coatings are all engineered to bond to virgin paint.
Exactly. Yep.
And if you don't have absolutely everything off, they're not going to bond properly, and they won't come anywhere close to lasting to what the label says.
Right.
Which a lot of them don't anyway. You know, they all just, you know,
But you get the good stuff. You get the good stuff.
Oh yeah, I always use top quality stuff.
Yeah. Well, guys, I'm gonna leave a couple of cameras with Mr. Mike, and so he's gonna take it from here and probably do some time lapse. He might, you know, pick up the camera and explain some of what he's doing possibly. But so basically, right now you're gonna see time lapse and video, whatever Mike does, and then the next time you see me, we'll be picking the truck up at the end of the week. So We'll see y'all later.
Boys and girls, I didn't know there was such a thing. This is a Saab. See that? Saab SUV. I didn't know there was such a thing. It's not entirely stock, and we'll talk about that in a minute. And it's wet from being outside, so you can't really see too much, but there's a ton of all kinds of contaminants on this paint, plastic vinyl on the glass. Oh boy. So the plan with this is it's going to get a complete strip wash, which is a multi-step process to remove as much of the surface contaminants as possible. That way then it'll be deconned with Iron X or a similar product to get rid of the iron contaminants which are on here, and trust me, there are plenty. And then it's going to get clay barred, and then a one-step polish, and then I'll do a what I call a topical polish on the rest of this glass, including the sunroof up there, which will get rid of all the surface. It'll get rid of everything except scratches. Topical polishing will not remove scratches. And we're going to use solution finish on all these pieces of trim, these parts of the mirror, around the mirror, which is plastic or vinyl, around the windows, down at the bottom down there. There's also one down around the front of the car. I'm not going to worry too much about the wheels because the owner says he's going to send those out to have them powder coated pretty soon. So I'll just give them a quick clean and put the sealant on them. I'm going to be putting a high quality titanium sealant on this entire vehicle. My goodness. Yeah, buddy. Hang on a minute. I'm going to let y'all listen to something pretty special here in a minute. This is not your mama's SUV. Trust me. The owner, there you have it, is also known as Rev Hard Garage. And this is actually his wife's vehicle. They have two other ones. And I'll give you a hint. One of his YouTube videos I watched was her racing it for the very first time. Her first time racing. Not sure if it was the vehicles, but he's got some pretty cool videos. You should go check them out if you get a chance. And there you have it, the Saab emblem again. I've already removed the license plate so I can get in there and do all that too, folks. Oh my goodness, 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 goodness. See, those are the numbers they put on at the racetrack. But I'm going to remove those four. She says go ahead and take them off. But I'm telling you folks, this thing is not your everyday SUV, which I'm going to crank it up for you guys and you will see what I am talking, well, not see, but you will hear what I'm talking about. The interior needs doing too, but we're not doing the interior this go around. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Man, yeah, it's got a cam in it, folks, among other things. Pretty loud too, folks. One hot rod mama there, I'm telling you. They got several race SUVs. Man, a Mustang, their sons, one of their sons. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with this pillar post right here. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with that. And my paint thickness coatings have revealed to me, I do believe some parts of this vehicle have been repainted, but whoever did that, I think, did a pretty fine job. But one thing I was going to show you guys, the first thing I'm going to tackle today, if I can find a towel here and wipe this off a little bit from the rain, and this is not really part of our deal, but I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot. since I can't really get outside and do the strip wash. I can do maintenance washes in the garage, but strip washes, no, I can't. But I'm going to attack. Look at that scratch in that glass, would you? Holy moly moly, can y'all see that? Woo-wee. That's from the wiper blade, no doubt. And it continues on over to this side. I'm trying to catch the light. Yeah, I think you can see a little bit. It goes all the way down to about there. It's lighter over here and heavier on the driver's side, I do believe, because of the pressure and the fulcrum point on this wiper blade. It's not pushing as hard when it's over here, and the pressure increases when it gets over on this side. That is my belief. That is my belief. But I'm going to go ahead and do some subsurface polishing on this glass right now and see if I can get a little bit of that scratch out for her where it's less noticeable. You know, we talking with her husband and her, we decided that, you know, him being a mechanic and a garage guy, he's got access to replace this glass, and he knows how to do it himself for actually cheaper than what I would have to charge to polish it all out. So I'm just going to do this just to see, as kind of a bonus for them, how much of that I might be able to get out. Just a quick deal, because really to polish all that out of there properly, it would probably take 2-3 hours or more. I'm not going to spend that much time on it, but I'm going to see if I can improve it to some degree. Maybe with about 40-45 minutes, see what that does, and then we'll back up and take a look at it. Taking the 8-inch backing plate, gone back down to the 5-inch little rayon pad, which I have, which is clean. So I'm going to be using that, and it will generate a lot of heat, folks, a lot, as you'll see as we move along here. When I spray the water on there, that gas will be so hot it'll be steaming. And the product I'm going to use, shake it up. It is, I don't know if y'all can see that, it's Carpro Ceraglass glass polish and cleaner ceram oxide based compound. Anytime you're doing subsurface polishing on your glass to get scratches out, you have to have one that has the ceram oxide. And trust me, I've tried a number of these. Not too long ago I decided to try this one, and as a matter of fact I just ordered a much bigger bottle. In fact I think I ordered 2 bottles and a couple more of those pads, because those pads will last a while, but you know, doing this kind of serious friction and heat, those pads aren't going to last long. So anyway, I'm going to get started here and see what we get, folks. And I'm going to have my misting bottle here handy, because you have to keep misting water on here as you go to keep up your lubrication, as I told you guys earlier. And this is not a situation where you really want to scrimp on product, but folks, this is going to sling this stuff everywhere. Trust me on that. Because the pad, in this case, it's not foam, it's not wood, so it's not going to absorb too much of this. So what you get is it just slings it everywhere. So I always suggest, if you're going to do this, you do it before you wash the car. You are going to make a mess, and you're going to have to wash it after you do this. We'll start off on a relatively slow RPM. Just kind of spread my product out here a little bit, and then we'll speed it up. You have to bear down, folks. This is Mike at Mike's Magic Auto Detailing and Paint Enhancement here in Sharpsburg, Georgia. There it is, folks. It's official. I told you many times. This is a refrigerator magnet. If y'all want one, shoot me a PM with your address and I'll drop one in the mail to you. No hooks, no catches, no nothing. It's just free. That's all there is to it. You know, some of you yesterday might remember we did the roof, we did the hood, we did part of the front end, did the rest of the front end starting at about 8 o'clock this morning. Holy cow, all those little bitty spots, man, it was difficult. Whew, man. But then we moved on. I did this fender here. Fender came out really nice. And then I did all those little bitty spaces like that. Oh, what a pain. Ugh, had to use two different size backing plates, Brandon, depending on where I was at. The damn bugs won't stay off of it. Those little things, I guess those aren't bugs. Those little things that float down out of the trees. I've already taken a lot of the tape off if you saw the other photos. I have not done this yet. Brandon, you know, we were looking at these that day. These have been wrapped. They have been wrapped. Looks like with PPF. That's why it looked funny up in those cracks. Remember us looking at that? But I'm going to give them a light buff anyway. See if I can clean them up just a little bit. Although it'd probably be easier just for you to rewrap them since you seem to be adept at that. Got all this up in here. Ooh, all the way back between the doors. Like I said, some of that tape I've took off. Got the top all the way down. And as you saw in the photographs earlier, using that little nano polisher, got under and inside the door handles themselves. All that took some time, but they look good now. And I just finished the front driver's side door. And I don't know if you remember, Brandon, I did post some photos. This front part was okay, but in here and in here was some really deep scratches. In all good consciousness, Brandon, I could not give it back to your Miss Brandy, your wife, with those still in here, because the one step would not have taken them out. It might have improved them, but so I jumped and did a little bit of wet sanding, damp sanding as I call it, with 3000 grit, and then polished them. And if you look really, really hard, I mean, you have to look really hard, you can find them, but they are gone. So I've got me some lunch cooking right now, and so there's some similar scratches here. I don't know if you can see that scratch there, Brandon. That was a continuation of a scratch on this other door. I'm gonna get that out. I cannot give it back to her. There's another one right there. I think maybe you can see that right there. See it? Hey, Miss Fran. Uh-oh. I meant to wave. I don't know what that thing was doing. Yeah, getting down here, you can really see that scratch. But you know what? That's not in the budget. That's not included, Brandon, but that's okay. I just can't leave those there, at least not on this side. You come back here to this rear panel right here. There's another one there. I'll see if I can get rid of that, because that's just ugly. It mars the whole paint job. And some of these fender flares got a lot of scratches. That one may just buff out. But there's all kind of scratches in here, Brandon. And on this one also. I won't bore you with showing you scratch after scratch after scratch. And I'll get rid of that. Get on back here to this part. And then I got to get the rear. And then the other side. Holy cow, holy cow. But you know, it's figured, Brandon, it's just worth a little investment of my time. You know, 4 or 5 minutes extra damp sanding that with 3000 grit, the 3M 3000 disc. I'm doing it by hand because I don't want to do a machine and get too deep into this clear coat. I want to preserve as much of the clear coat as absolutely possible. Yeah, you could grab a rotary with a wool pad and some deep cutting compound and maybe accomplish it in less time, but believe it or not, that is more aggressive than damp sanding with a 3, 4, 5,000 grit sandpaper. It'll eat up some clear coat. It'll get the scratch out that way, you betcha, but you won't have hardly any clear coat left, and you also run the risk of burning the paint that way. This is a very safe method, and it's, believe it or not, a lot of people don't believe that, but it's much less aggressive. And there was a scratch there, Brandon. I minimized if scratching in there, but just after putting the paint thickness gauge on it, just didn't feel comfortable going any deeper after that. Not right there. So that was just barely noticeable, but out in the direct sunlight, if you look closely, you will see them. But I think it's a vast improvement, and these cleaned up really nice, really nice. So did these. They were full of micro marring, these pillar posts as we call them. So, okay, I'm gonna go check on my lunch, Brandy. Just wanted to catch y'all up right quick. I'm really pleased, man. When I get this thing paint prepped and the sealing on there, it is gonna be, it's gonna have an insane amount of gloss and shine to it. Just insane. It'll be incredible. And then I'll do the windows and all that other stuff we talked about. Hopefully I'll be done with it today. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. A lot of work still left to do. Tell you what. Look at all the stuff I've had to get out. And yeah, I've put most of it away. Or a lot of it. Look at all this stuff. Holy cow, holy cow. Man. Done put all my buffers away. I use just about every buffer I have. And pads and polishes and all kind of stuff. And I'm 98% finished with this Saab. I need about another half a day or more to completely button it up. But the owners are going out of town first thing in the morning, I think, to the races. Maybe she's going to race this again. I don't know for sure. But anyway, they need to come pick it up, and I've got it where they can take it, and hopefully they can bring it back as soon as they get back to town. It won't take me long to finish up. I got to do the door jambs. I got to finish restoring the trim. I've already done all the prep work. If they can take it off, go wherever they need to go, come back, and all I'll have to do is wipe it down with some alcohol and then do the solution finish and the Cerakote trim coat and all that kind of stuff. I wanted to do the wheels and tires up a little bit better. He said don't worry about the wheels too much, but I did want to coat the tires, but I'm not going to have time to do that. Oh boy. But she's been strip washed. Hey John! She's been strip washed, deconned, playboard, all that stuff. And I did basically a one-step, which in many places turned into a two-step process. And did a little damp sanding here and there. There were some deep scratches, if y'all recall the previous video and photos I posted, in particularly in through here. So I damp sanded those out. I just had to. That wasn't in their budget, but I had to do it. I had to do it. They're basically all gone now, and they continued on back. You can see there where there's one, it was just too deep to completely go after. But they're just stuck with that one. The only way to fix that any better now is at a paint shop. I polished all the windows, all the glass, what we call a topical polish, headlights, taillights. Yeah, buddy. Like I said, I stripped down all that trim, and I did put a coating on it, but it's just very light coating just to last till they get back. took the license plate off, did all up under there, did the license plate itself, the license plate frame, cleaned this up as best I could. That'll be one of the things that gets restored when they bring it back to me. Maybe that. You can see, this is the owner. Well, the owner's husband. Revhara Garage right here in Noonan, Georgia. Yes, folks, and he does have a YouTube channel as well. Some pretty cool videos on there. But yeah, we buffed all this stuff out. Ooh, yep, there was some scratches here, and did a little damp sanding in this area here. There were some deep scratches and a white chip that had a lot of transfer to it, so the white transfer went away. Some in this door, all gone, all gone, all gone, all gone. And after all that was done, the entire vehicle was paint prepped, and a high quality titanium sealant was put on here. They didn't have budget for the titanium coating. Maybe next time, maybe next time. Oh boy, yeah, I can't wait for them to get back so I can finish up all this trim. This all needs to be restored. Yeah, you know, it all does that. I don't care what kind of car you got. Yeah, the hood turned out very nicely. Polished this sunroof. Had to do that by hand. You don't want to put a buffer on the sunroof, folks. They're too fragile. You never know what might happen. Polished up the mirrors. Man, I had to use my little polishers, my big polishers, my medium-sized polishers, all of them. Everything was used today, all different kind of stuff. But I just wanted to catch y'all up right quick. The whole front end's been sealed and everything. The headlights, I sealed those. The headlights, the tail lights, everything. All that was cleaned very meticulously. It only comes so clean. But I think it all looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it, except that I don't get to finish it tomorrow because they'll be off playing in it. But hopefully when they get back, they'll bring it back to me and I can finish this up. I hate letting one go, John, before I'm completely done with it. But sometimes it just happens, I guess. They got somewhere they want to go tomorrow, and this is going with them. So they're going to have to come pick it up. Waiting for them to call me now.
Hey guys, here we are. Streetcar takeover, street truck takeover. Got the truck unloaded as you saw. And we're just kind of getting everything set up. Got Brandy's truck back temporarily. Trim and stuff's not finished yet, but we got the paint done anyway. This thing looks gorgeous. I mean, it's just amazing how clean that paint came out. But I'll show you guys an overview. She is looking pretty sweet. Can't wait to see it with the trim and stuff done. We're gonna take it back Wednesday.
As you recall, some of the previous videos, I didn't get through with it, but they had to drive it, and that's okay. They brought it back this afternoon here at Mike's Magic Auto Detailing and Paint Enhancement here in Sharpsburg, Georgia. As you recall, one of the things we needed to finish was doing some trim restoration. A lot of it was whited out, you know, turning, you know, all this kind of stuff. This one hasn't been touched yet. So we're working on all that today. And some of you may remember from that previous video, this vent cowl was turning white and had what we call tiger stripes in it. I have completed it with the solution finish, waiting on that to totally cure, which may take a little time with all this rain and humidity. But it turned out very, very nice. When that cures, I may put some what we call Cerakote trim coat on it. Turned out nice. I just finished applying it to this mirror. It's still curing. Needs a little bit more wiping off. You can see some streaking, some hot spots. That's just excess product, so it'll just wipe right off. Oh boy, did that piece of trim right there. Still waiting on this piece, these pieces here around the door to cure out a little bit so I can give it another wipe down, get all those hot spots off of there. But that stuff's turning out pretty nice.
All right, guys, we made it back over here to Mike's. He got done with the truck, so Brandy's about to back this thing out, so we'll get a good shot of it backing out into the sunlight and see how it looks. Show you guys how it looks.
I can't tell you how many neighbors I had stop by. And
make a screenshot, I don't know. Oh, look at that sun. Got all the trims on. It's looking really good. We also drove the Trailblazer over here. I've been dying to get it out. I drove it to work Friday and Saturday, and then now it's Monday. And it's just nice to take it out. Not very clean, but it's not very dirty. That thing is amazing. It's so fun to drive. So, anyway, this is it. Alright guys, we're headed back home, and of course I'm in the Trailblazer, so I wanted to show you guys just a little pull. I'm coming up to a stop sign right here, so I'm not going to do anything too crazy because it still spins my drag radials if I try to launch it, but here you go. Woo! Better hold on, son. Of course, why is there a sheriff in a truck up here? I hope he's not in the truck. Guess we'll find out. I got off of it just in time. Anyway, I just wanted to show you guys a little pool, give you an idea of how it sounds and all that stuff, just kind of cruising around. And funny story, I thought I couldn't get any E85, and you know, I've been buying E85 at racetrack, and a friend of mine posted on his mechanic page about how people had been putting E85 in their cars that aren't rated for E85, and he was having to replace fuel pumps and fuel injectors and drain the tanks and all that kind of stuff. That got me thinking, I wonder if that was why racetrack had a bag over the E85 nozzle, because theoretically there's no reason they should run out of E85, right? Well, anyway, I decided to stop by the racetrack. I went ahead and swiped my car, pulled the bag off the E85 nozzle, and sure enough, hang on. So sure enough, I mean, it just took off running. So I filled my truck up, and I also happen to have my 2 race cans in the back, and they hold about 6.5 gallons a piece. So I just got about, I don't know, something like $87 worth of E85. So at least I can drive my truck a little bit. Probably gonna drive my wagon back and forth to work mostly, but I sure have been enjoying driving this truck. So anyway, I'm glad you guys watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, all that good stuff. Drop a comment and let me know what you think about Brandy's truck and how good it looks, and let her know, you know. So we'll see you guys later. Take it easy.